Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. Thank you for being here for our forum session. Today, we are going to discuss a very common issue among students, which is sleep deprivation. Sleep is very important for our mind and body. But many students do not get enough rest because of deprivation. This problem can affect health, emotion, and academic performance. Now, let me introduce us to our four amazing panelists. First, we got AISYAH from Radio 3A. Alright, next, we got SHAZA LINA from Radio 3A. And next, we got ALYA from ICT 3A. And lastly, we got SITI KHADIJAH from Radio 3A. Now, to begin our discussion, I would like to ask Anis, what are the main causes of sleep deprivation among students today?
Thank you, Tasha. In my opinion, there are several main causes of sleep deprivation among students. First is academic pressure. Students have a lot of projects, class, exam, and assignments to finish up. They will often stay up late to finish their work in order to get good grades. Second is poor time management. Many students love to procrastinate their work until late at night. They usually spend the day doing other activities and delay their work at night. Third is social media and smartphones. Students love to scroll through Instagram and watching videos. Even when they feel sleepy, they still scroll until they do not get enough rest. And lastly, they will often feel stressed and worried. They will be worried about their studies, future, and personal problems. When they are stressed and worried, they will not get relaxed. And relax is crucial for sleeping.
Thank you, Anis. That explanation is very detailed. Alright, now, SHAZA, do you agree with Anis, or would you like to add something else?
Yes, I agree with all the points that given by Anis. And I would like to add that technology is one of the biggest distractions we do. Sometimes students plan to do a read, but whenever they start using their phones, they may lack track of time. One video will become 10 minutes. So I think taken into another class, students feel happy, or anxiety to stay awake and study, but it makes it harder for them to sleep better.
That is very true. Technology can be very addictive. ALYA, in your opinion, which cause is the most serious among all?
In my opinion, or time management is the most serious process. If students can manage their time properly, they can complete their tasks evenly and avoid staying up late. For example, you can create study schedule and follow its daily. Even if students have a lot of works, but then can help them balance student study and works. I agree with others. Sometimes students blame their work, but actually they do not use their time wisely. But the work can lead to stress and difficulty working.
Alright, now, let's move on to the effect of sleep deprivation. SITI, can you explain what happens when students do not get enough sleep?
Yes, of course. From what I can see,
Sleep deprivation can give a lot of negative effects. First, physically, students will feel very tired and sometimes they also get headache or feel sleepy in the evening. I think many of us have experienced this, especially when we sleep late. Second, from the mental aspect, students become more stressed and easily irritated. Even small things can make them feel more upset. And lastly, for academic pressure, for academic performance, it's quite obvious when students don't get enough sleep, they cannot concentrate and sometimes forget what they have studied. So when they spend a lot of time studying, they will forget who's not really thinking. And in my opinion, sleep is actually very important, not something students should ignore.
Thank you, SITI. Alice, have you seen this effect happen in real life?
Yes, I have seen many of them. First, I usually see that many students will sleep during their lesson, especially in the morning. Second, when people ask simple questions to students, they will not answer it easily because their brain are too foggy and too fatigued. This can we see that sleep deprivation can cause a lot on how the brain works.
I also noticed that most of students get more they may get angry easily or feel upset over a small problem. This can affect their relationship with their friends or lecturers. Yes, and in the long term, if students continue this habit, it may lead to serious problems like weak immune system or content.
Now, let's move deeper into this issue. Sleep deprivation is not only about feeling tired, it also impacts many parts of life. SHAZA, can you explain more? About issue related to this topic?
Thank you, Tasha. Yes, sleep deprivation is actually a serious issue. First, many students do not realize they are sleep deprived. They think it is normal to sleep only 4 or 5 hours, but over time, this is become a bad habit. Second, sleep deprivation can affect mental health. Students may feel stressed, anxious, or even depressed. When they do not get enough news, their emotions become unstable. Third, it affects daily performance. Students may come late to class, feel sleepy, lessons, and cannot give full attention to their class. This slowly affects their academic result. Another issue is that students often ignore the problem. They continue their unhealthy lifestyle because they think it is part of student life. In my opinion, this is dangerous because it can lead to long-term health problems.
That is very strong point, SHAZA. Many students really think this is normal. ALYA, what do you think and can you add more about this topic?
Yes, I agree with Shaza. I would like to add a few more points. Sleep deprivations can also affect physical mental health in a long term. For example, students may have weak immune system and fall sick or easily disease. It can reduce productivity even if students spend many hours that they may not understand or remember anything or their brain is still much tired.
try it with SHAZA and ALYA mission together. I think awareness is helpful. Sometimes students don't even realize that their sleeping habits is already adapted. The discipline is not sleep late every day. I also feel if these habits contributes for the long run, it will be hard to change in the future. That's why students have to start taking care of their sleep from now. Yes, and sometimes students feel like to compare themselves to others. They think my friend also can sleep late, so why not my sleep late? That is very unhealthy for them.
Now, let's move on to the most important part, which is the solution. SHAZA, since you explained the issue very well, what solution do you suggest?
Thank you, Tasha. I believe that there are several practical solutions that students should follow. First, students should control their screen time, especially before their sleeping. They can set a limit or use apps to remind them to stop using their phones. Second, students should take a relaxing bedtime. For example, they can read a book, listening to some music, or doing light stretching. This helps body prepare for sleep. In my opinion, small changes can make a big difference if students are consistent.
That is very helpful, SHAZA. ALYA, can you share more about the solution from your perspective?
Yes, of course. I would like to focus on our long-term solution. First, students need to improve their time management skill. They can use a planner or schedule to organize their tasks. When work is done early, they do not need to set updates. For example, students should learn to set priorities. Not everything is equally important. They should focus on important tasks first and avoid wasting time. Okay? School and teachers can also help by giving better guides on workloads. Too many tasks at the same time can stress students. Another solution is to educate students about sleep. Many students do not understand how important sleep is. School can organize or campaigns to increase awareness. Thus, students should take care of their lifestyle. Healthy body can improve sleep quality. So, in my opinion, solving this problem needs effort from both sides, students and their education system.
That is very mature and complete answer, ALYA. Hadith, do you want to add anything else?
Yes, I think students should also avoid just late at night. It may help them stay awake for a short time, but it affects their sleep later. That's true, Alice. I just want to add simple one. Students should try to make their sleeping environment more comfortable. For example, keeping the room just quiet and not too bright.
Thank you, everyone. Now, I have one good question for all our panelists. What do you think? Students still ignore this solution even when they know that?
For me, I think that is because of habits. Once students are used to something late, it is hard to change it. I agree. Some students like us states they know what is right, but they're not practice.
Sometimes, students feel they have no choice because of too much money. I also think some students underestimate how important sleep is.
Before we end, I would like to ask all panelists one last question. Which solution do you think is the most important and why?
For me, setting a routine is the most important part because it builds a healthy habit over time.
I think reducing phone effect is the most important because it is the main protection for students. For me, time management. Time management is the best solution because when students plan their time well, they can get enough sleep without staying up late.
I agree with Anya. Good time management can solve many problems at once, including sleep issues.
Thank you to all our panelists for your thoughtful discussion. From this forum, we can understand that sleep deprivation is caused by many factors, such as academic pressure, poor time management, and excessive phone use. It also gives serious effect on student health and academic performance. However, with good habits like managing time, reducing screen use, and having a proper sleep routine, this problem can be improved. I hope everyone will take this issue seriously and start taking better care of their sleep. Thank you. Bye.